Drafting the right running back can be the difference between a championship run and a season full of regret. Every year we overthink it, reach for names, chase hype, and miss odd league winners. But not this year, baby. We're not going to overthink this thing because we have broken down the 2025 running back landscape into clear tiers. And today we're going to be showing you exactly when to pull the trigger on each one. So, boys, let's get started and let's win this year's draft.
Starting off with the S tier, guys, this is so easy. This is the set and forgets. If they're on your draft board, you are taking him. In that S tier, you're going to go with Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan Robinson. It is done deal. If you're in the first round and they're there, you are taking them, no questions asked.
Yeah, that to me is just such an easy one to go. Some people overthink that. Those three, all three of them have great offensive lines.
Great offensive lines, great opportunities. Speaking for just Bijan, last year, 73% of the workload. That's top 5 work efficiency in the whole league at his position. Boys, this is a blue chip that you're going to pay extra for, but it's going to be worth it over the long run.
Now, do you guys feel like Derrick Henry belongs in that round 1 S tier?
Not yet. I think if you have like a late draft, you're like rounds 8 through 10 and he's still hanging out, absolutely pull the trigger. But like if you're out there, like let him get the turn because I think a lot of people are buying low on Derrick this year.
I would say the one thing that's holding Derrick back from getting that S tier is Lamar. Right, Lamar is going to eat up some of those rushing attempts and some of that goal line work rushing touchdown attempts. Even though Derrick's going to get his, but right, I think those other quarterbacks don't have that extra variable from that running back or from that quarterback position to eat up on his running opportunities.
I mean, the dude is going to fall into the end zone all year. So
yeah,
I don't know if there's another like running back out there that is like set for just overall touchdowns being scored, like at just the highest number possible. Because I think he actually is going to get more touchdowns than all three of these guys in round 1.
And I agree with you, and I'm going to eat my own foot here. I said last year that Derrick Henry was going to be absolute doo-doo because of Lamar Jackson. That was so far from the truth. They are a very scary offense with Derrick Henry. But now Derrick Henry, though, in lieu of that, also had the most breakout runs. He had 25 breakout runs, more than anybody. Like, he's top tier there. So if he gets those breakout runs, dude's going to dominate. But if he doesn't, don't tell me I didn't tell you first, folks.
Okay, but on that back end of round 1, is every receiver in that round 1, you're taking him over Derrick Henry?
In theory, right, you're going to see guys like Amon-Ra, Puka, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors. Like, you're going to want those guys because of the numbers we saw last year. Because that's what I'm saying. If they're still falling to that spot, you're taking Derrick later.
So you're putting him round 2, tier A category.
Yeah, I like that. I think that'd be perfect. If he's hanging out, I would pull the trigger on him. Don't lose one of these receivers.
Like, D, if you're in that late round, in that first round, are you taking A.J. Brown or are you taking Derrick Henry? Let's say in that 8-9 spot.
Me personally, I feel like I'm going Derrick Henry on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree, dude. I'd go Derrick.
I think I would too.
But if it's that like Malik Neighbors,
I think
Brian Thomas Jr., Puka, I feel like I'm taking those 3 receivers over Derrick.
Right.
Now, like personally here, I love that 10th pick because like what if you got Derrick Henry and turned around got Nico Collins as your back-to-back pick?
But let's say you go back-to-back, right? You go Derrick. And then on the turnaround, I mean, what if you get like yourself a Kyrell Williams, or you get yourself
there you go,
maybe even a Trace Brown back there.
So now that we've settled on the S tier, let's transition on into the A tier, boys. Guys that are going in 2nd and 3rd round. Where are you buying them? Are you buying them high? Are you buying them low? Let's get in.
So we're throwing Derrick in first one A tier,
right out of the gate. Put him in the A tier. That's great.
So we do like Christian in this A category too. In this A tier,
I would agree. Christian goes here.
Yeah, okay, Christian definitely goes there. Yeah,
and really, right? I mean, guys, like this needs to be a breakout or back to the median year for Christian, or he's going to start falling. Which unfortunately, you know, we love the star of Christian was amazing, and now we're kind of hopefully we're not seeing like the tail end of his career dealing with back-to-back years of injury lingering with him.
Well, and here's where I think his mindset's going to change. Just got married, found out he's having a baby.
Right.
So this could be the year. This could be the year of like, okay, I need to eat. so I can be able to provide for the family.
And with Debo gone, right, that's one less guy because, they used to put Debo in the backfield, right? So that's one less guy that is going to get touches in that backfield. And so maybe that'll give Christian, even though he has tons of opportunities, even more opportunities.
Yeah, it's scary because, like, if he gets hurt, you're fucked.
Oh, you're dead.
I mean, you're literally dead in the water. And again, that's why he's a good A spot, second, third round if he's lingering.
When he's not hurt, though, he's the best player in fantasy.
Yeah, he is the dog.
It's like almost like he would be that S tier kind of category if he's not hurt. The seasons he's not hurt, he is definitely, I mean, I think 2 years ago led fantasy by like 100-something points to the second place fantasy overall finisher.
Exactly.
So when he does play, he's absolute lights out dominates.
Yeah.
No, and I think the A tier is a solid spot for him because, again, like you're saying, if he has a full year where he's really productive and he's not hurt, man, you're going to get a league winner in the second round.
Absolutely,
what we want.
And I think you could easily put Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor.
I agree.
All day long. You can put those guys in there. That's an easy one.
And I think the last guy, right, I would put in this A tier is, he's going to get even more opportunity this year is Bucky Irving, man.
Yes, dude's going to eat.
Again, going off of last year, once he really took on that role away from Rachaad White, right, through week 9, the guy, was putting up, top 10 running back numbers throughout the rest of the season.
Now, you don't think Rachaad White's going to get in there, though?
No, he'll get in there, but I think the piece of his pie is going to get even smaller.
Okay, he's going to be like a third down back.
100%, right?
Yeah,
and
okay.
Bucky can do everything, man. He's a 3-down back, right?
So that's exactly like the Josh Jacobs, JT. They're every single down back, they're going to be your bell cows in there. So right now we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bell cow running backs. You're saying up there in round 2 or 3.
Yeah, those guys are nuts. I got a hot take for you folks. A lot of people have been trying to sell this guy and buy him early. Please don't. Devon A-Chain, he ain't got it, dude. I'm telling you, stay away. It's scary. We don't know what Tua's going to do this year.
Now, are you staying away from Devon A-Chain because there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense, or do you think it's just ability-wise by Devon A-Chain? Like, does he not have the juice for it?
I think he does, but he's like ADP right now. He's going in like top 12, 13th pick overall, and I think that's a waste. I think there's way better talent that he could be going in that like late second, early third if he's still hanging out. But like me personally, I'm passing. If I got a guy that I could get like a Brian Thomas Jr. or a Drake London or a Brock Bowers, I'm going to be focused, or an AJ Brown. I'm more focused towards that because I know those guys are going to eat all season long. There's no takeaway on that. But Devon, I don't know. Nice.
Okay, now you're saying Devon A-Chain does not fit in that category.
Late, you can go late, but I mean, there's just.
So you're saying you're taking him in the third?
If he's still there, I would take him in the third. Absolutely.
Okay,
if he's still hanging out,
fit this
he will. He will be in the back end of it. But yes,
back end.
Yeah. No, if he's there in the third round, I'm taking Devon A-Chain.
Okay, now our first rookie on the board. I'm coming at you guys. Are we taking Ashton Genty in round 2 or 3?
Oh, I don't know, dude.
Okay. Well, this is a good.
I'm saying yes.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
I'm coming out hot. I'm saying yes. I think this dude is gonna leapfrog into that S tier by the end of the year.
Wow. And we've seen in the past, we've seen the Bijan Robinsons, we've seen the Jahmyr Gibbs, right? And I think this is a good opportunity for us to address the audience of what kind of league format, what kind of format is your league, right? Are you in a keeper league? Are you in a 12-team, a 10-team? Because if you're in a dynasty league, I 100% agree with you, D. Like, Ashton Genty could fit into this A tier. Right now, if we're just talking, not dynasty league and 12-team, man, that's where hey, scared money don't make money.
Oh,
so,
man.
Risking it.
The only person I feel like is that's there with the Raiders right now. I mean, they got him in the offseason was Raheem Mostert, but other than that, I mean, we look at what Devon's done with Raheem there. I mean, Raheem came in and he'll scavenge a few touchdowns here or there, but like overall, just talent wise, like Ashton Genty is far better in my opinion than Devon A-Chain. Just skill over wise.
That's another hot take. You're fucking on fuego.
He's fast. Definitely, he's fast. He's got some hands and stuff, but just like overall raw power and running people over and just dynamic out on the field, like Ashton Genty, I consider far better than Devon A-Chain in that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. If he's there hanging out in the third round Absolutely.
That new offense, I mean, you look at the new coaching staff, like they're going to feed him.
Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah, and now you have Geno. You got Geno Smith there with a deep ball threat.
He did have a couple fumbles in college that were kind of eye-opening in my opinion, but so I do see if that happens early, yeah, he might not get the full workload and Raheem might be rotating in there, but if he just is lights out, like he's definitely in this category of 2 and 3 with these guys. Like who else is going to take over from there?
Yeah, no, I agree. I like that. But you can put him on the back end.
Yeah, and maybe they work him in like they did with Bucky last year, right? Where, you know, some of those, that first like 4 to 6 weeks, right? You're not going to have the same volume as you're going to have, especially if the Raiders step up to their expectations. If they have like a deep playoff push, his volume from weeks 1 to 6 might be very drastically different from weeks 6 to 17, or I'm sorry, 12 to 17, right? Because they understand like, okay, this guy is the true bell cow 3 down back, and we don't have any. I mean, guys, look at that offense, right? It's Brock Bowers and it's Aston Genty.
And Jacoby. Don't forget my boy Jacoby, dude. He finally went off with Aiden O'Connell. Now he finally has Geno. Ooh. Boy's about to put up 1,300 this year.
Okay, so are we good with this round 2 to 3 area? These are the backs we're solidifying in this category.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys wouldn't put anybody else in here.
No, I'm good with that. Now that we dove into that A list, we got some great takes here going into the B list. This is your round 4 or 5 guys. These are the guys that are really going to make a difference, not only your depth chart, but if you went wide receiver heavy, tight end heavy, whatever you did in the beginning, like you have to hit here. There's no going back. Right out of the gate, I'm putting him up there, even though ADP has him very, very lower than this. Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard is my dog of the year. Breakout back of the year, threw up crazy numbers last year, and now you have what I'm hearing rumored. Okay, it's going to be between the Panthers and the Bucks this year. That's all the reports are coming out. The Panthers and the Bucks are the only two in that division that are going to win.
Oh my God!
See,
the Panthers
with you here.
No way. ESPN, CBS, you name them.
Chuba Hubbard is going over Kyron Williams, James Cook.
Nope.
Chase Brown.
Nope.
Breece Hall.
What? He did
Kenneth
better
Walker.
than them.
Okay, so there's where it gets a little, I've been in that Kenneth Walker, that Chris Carson Seattle backfield, and granted, it's a new coaching staff, so I might mess around there with Chuba.
I'm
Kenneth.
even taking Alvin over Chuba.
Oh yeah, okay.
100%.
So we could get the easy ones out. Give me the AK. AK
so
could
we'll
go.
throw AK up
That's
there.
an easy one.
Yes.
James Cook, that's an easy one.
Super easy.
Chase Brown.
Yeah,
That's
Hall.
another good one. Breece Hall.
Breece
No.
Oh my gosh.
Guy hasn't had 1,000-yard season in 3 years.
Dude,
Get him out.
Look at the offense he's been. He's had a different head coach, a different offensive coordinator every single year he's been there.
Yeah, but look at Garrett Wilson, 1,200 yards. Devontae Adams, 1,300 yards. Breece Hall ain't doing it. He's fucking shoe tackle. Bye.
You're taking
Down.
Chuba Hubbard over Breece Hall.
Any day of the week. Any day of the
I'm
week.
so happy that you're in multiple of my drafts.
I know.
love that we're in
I
multiple
do.
of the same leagues.
I do. Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams. That's another easy one.
Touchdown machine. That guy.
Yes.
Okay, do we like it in this order? This is how you guys are taking them.
I would probably put Chase in front of AK.
That's okay. Yeah, I would agree.
And
I would
then
probably even put James Cook in front of AK.
Okay.
Yep.
you could put AK in the back because Kyron, that looks nice. That looks real nice.
I would probably take AK. But that's a little homer pick.
Well, and the only reason why is because Saints are going to rely heavily on AK this year.
Again, last year to this year is going to be very similar to what AK's production is going to be.
Absolutely.
Because the quarterback position is still up in the air. We don't know. But other than that, looking at those guys, I don't see.
I mean, Chuba Hubbard's ADP right now is what? Late round 5?
Yeah.
Early round 6?
If he's there, boys, you're not wasting talent. Because now you got.
If he's there in round 5, right? If I'm a back end, mid end round 5, then sure. Okay.
So you're
Absolutely.
taking him over Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker and Joe Mixon.
Joe goes first, then Chuba.
Okay, so we're putting Joe in the B tier.
I'm fine with that. I
I'm
mean,
good with that too.
late 5, yeah. If he's there in the 5th round, I'm going to take Joe.
I'm good
And
with
then,
that. Yes.
and then Chuba.
Okay, over Brees, over Kenneth.
Yeah, because Kenneth, 2 years in a row, he's been lingering hamstrings.
I
Hate that. I've
staying
had
away from
him.
Kenneth Walker.
Okay, I can agree with that.
And
I do
Brees,
agree with that. But
Brees
I do
one
overall,
week will have 5 points, and the next week have 6 points, and then that week have 20. Then the following week have 10. Like, that's so unrealistic.
Average out in the year like 15 points. And if I'm getting 15 points from round 5 pick, then I'm cool with that.
No. That's not good, because you want to get average game. Like, you want to see double-digit games. You don't want to see
15 points.
4s and 5s 1 week. That 4 and 5 could screw you.
No, I 100% agree. But if you go over the average of the year, yeah, it's like 15 points a game. I mean, everybody's going to have down weeks, right? Depending what that ceiling, or I'm sorry, what that floor is from player to player can differentiate, right? But everyone's going to have down weeks. Unless you're unless you're league winner, crazy.
Yeah, unless you're Chuba Hubbard.
I mean, Kenneth Walker is a toss-up for me, because when that dude is healthy, I do believe
he's very
a
scary.
far better back than Chuba Hubbard.
Absolutely.
And if we're talking, we're basing this off of injuries and stuff, then we wouldn't have Christian up here at 2nd overall in the A tier, because
but
that's Christian McCaffrey. Yes.
Yeah, Christian's in a different category.
Yeah, way different category. You're not letting him fall past 3. Like, there's
but
no
just
world.
like talent-wise, like if he's there and he's healthy, you would be taking Kenneth Walker over a Chuba Hubbard, would you not?
I would be.
I would be too.
If I didn't,
Okay, that's
if
fine.
I
You
didn't
guys
have
could
the
put-
knowledge of what Kenneth Walker, right? If I didn't have the knowledge of Kenneth Walker's past, right? Yeah, like if I just went off one season, sure. But now that he has a bigger sample size now, to where it's like, man, I don't know if I can count on this guy week after week, right? So and again,
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a different offense coordinator, but I swear the Seahawks running back, it's just a rotating, it's a revolving door.
Yeah.
At least with Chuba, we know it's just Chuba.
Yeah, it's just Chuba. Let's go K9, Chuba, Brees Hall. I think that's a fair assessment there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll go Kenneth.
Yeah.
Yep. Chuba.
Back into the 5th.
Chuba.
Yep.
Wow, Brees Hall's really taking a fall.
Dude,
there,
he just
boys.
keeps dropping each year, man.
The boy used to be
that
round
was
one
compromise
last
on me.
year.
That was compromise on my part, because he would be higher on my B list.
Wow. Okay, so we're locking in B. That's it for B.
I love that. That looks great.
Because we got an every down back in Chase. I don't see anybody. I mean, they got Zach Moss there. I know they re-signed him, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
based off of Chase's end of the year last year. Like, I don't see why you would pull him out of the game.
Nope.
James Cook the same way. They got Ray Davis over there.
Kyron, AK. Joe's
These
just a
are all-
fucking red zone touchdown guy.
Touchdown machine.
Yeah.
Especially if he stays healthy. I mean, he's fallen into that Derrick Henry category where you just know he's going to get at least a touchdown or two a game.
Absolutely. And then
He's definitely going to switch out with Zach Charbonnet. I do believe that throughout the year, but he will get the majority of the work. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Chuba, he falls into that
75% of play snaps.
Yeah,
that dude's
nobody's really taking the ball from him, and then Brees falls into that category just by default. I mean,
I hope next year Brees goes back to A tier. Like, he's got so much hype for the guy. It's just not producing at all.
And yeah,
It's
looking
been
at
tough.
this B tier, if I get any of these guys in those rounds, I'm happy with that. I'm good with that. 100%.
Yeah. I would agree. Now we're getting into the late spots. Round 6 to 7. These guys are going to be your still RB2s, but you're definitely going to need those flexes, and you want to have a good depth chart. Okay? Depending on how you did on your wide receivers and quarterbacks, this is very important, because if you miss on these guys, you're going to be screwed if one of your top 2 guys go down. You're going to be begging for a trade or looking for the waivers.
Some guys quickly to get into this C category. That's Omarion Hampton. That's James Conner. That's DeAndre Swift, and that's David Montgomery, right? Right out there. And just a quick note on that Omarion Hampton, right? I understand that Najee Harris has come over from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Chargers. But again, guys, Omarion Hampton has the ability and is going to have the opportunity maybe later in the season than we're expecting. But I'm telling you, the opportunity is going to be there. And this, I mean, if you're getting him in the 6th and 7th round, boys, this could be a set and forget late into those playoff weeks or deep into the season. Very important.
Now, what if Najee starts eating though? What if he brings back vintage Najee?
Dude, vintage, what, that 1 year? Like, I swear, like,
There was
when
three.
when has Najee been like a top 10 running back in fantasy
Never
perspective?
been a
Exactly,
top 10.
right? So Omar and Hampton, I'm telling you, like, gives me very Bucky Irving vibes from last year, where he has the ability, he's going to have the offense. The offensive line is freaking phenomenal, right? And Jim Harbaugh over there, they want to establish the run game. We saw it all from last year. We saw a lot of 12 personnel, even seen some 21 personnel, right? They want to run the football, and Omar Hampton runs the football well.
Let's throw Tony in there. Tony's another easy one. Tony Pollard.
Big shout out, Tony.
Big old T-Dog and Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
Yep.
I'm not very big on D Swift in there. I'm just not a D Swift believer. I don't take him in any rounds.
I would move him. I would move him to the back.
I would say Omarion and D Swift can kick it to the back of the bus here.
See, I disagree there.
I'm not going and wasting a early 6th round pick for Omarion over James Conner. We know that guy's good. David, Tony, Aaron. I would not.
Right,
we don't know the unknown, right? We don't know the unknown.
I feel like this 6th and 7th round, like in this area, is definitely not a round to sleep in, right? But this isn't your opportunity to, throw that kind of dart, at a guy that you think, okay, can he finish as a top 12 to 15 running back at the end of the season? And sure, James Conner can be that, but I don't think DeAndre Swift can be that. I hate to say it, boys. I don't think Tony Pollard can be that. So those guys
your 6th round picks here, right? You got Jamison Williams. You're taking him. Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy, George Pickens, DK Metcalf. That's not a whole lot of picks left in your 6th round. So, like, if you're going to waste, I'm not wasting any of those guys over Omar.
I wouldn't take them over. The guys I would take before Omar for sure.
Yeah. So
okay,
I would we're moving him to the back.
Okay.
Yeah, get him in the 7th round
before D Swift.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah,
because we don't know what's going to happen.
I'm right there with you, D. D Swift had that spark over that Philly, but gosh dang it,
it wasn't even that good of a spark.
Him in Chicago,
Chicago was tough, and I hope Ben Johnson changes that.
Yeah,
but
it could.
It definitely could.
I think he might have the ability, but man, that offense was terrible last year.
I think Isaiah Pacheco would be a good.
Yeah.
Let's throw Isaiah. Let's put Isaiah in the back of the C tier there. I like that.
I wouldn't mind that. I'd probably put Brian Robinson Jr. in the back in that 7 too.
Really?
Yeah. Who else is over there? And that offense is nice, man.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Right.
That'd be okay.
The Reds, like the Commanders, the Bengals are teams that their offenses are so explosive. I want to get a piece of it, but not have to pay the high premium of a Jamar Chase, of a Joe Burrow. So I can get a piece of that offense with Brian Robinson Jr., right, at a discount, right? Because I know that offense is going to still buzz.
Yeah.
Right? So if I can get a piece of it at a discount, I mean, the 6th and 7th round, I think that's a win overall.
Yeah, I would agree there. I like that. Is where we're going to be transitioning into the D. This is way late. You are already set in stone on who your starters are going to be. These are the guys that can make or break your team on the tail end of your season. And we're going to start off with R.G. Harvey. I think that's a fair assumption. Mm-hmm. And Quinton Junkins. Get them in there. Right. Those guys are there for sure.
Yeah, and I think they're there for sure because for right now, we don't know who else is back there with them. So at least they're going to have a majority of the opportunity, which again, if with these guys, right, if you can have at least guys that are taking up 65 to 70% of the workload, that's a win, especially deep in these rounds.
The only thing with RJ Harvey that I have like a little bit of stigma is now they have J.K. Dobbins over there that they just signed a 1-year deal, I think just for like that veteran capacity. But I want to say they're going to lean towards RJ. Mm-hmm. But he's going to get a chance because if JK starts doing like he did on the Chargers, those other guys ain't going to see the field. Right. They're going to keep going.
I think this is why we're putting him in that D category, right?
Absolutely.
Just because
this is great.
The
Me personally, when it comes to the running backs in fantasy, I would not be opposed to taking a shot for either of these two guys in this round.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Because I'm good with taking them over James Conner.
Ew,
David.
No.
I'm good with taking them over Tony Pollard,
Aaron
Jones,
God,
Isaiah Pacheco, all these guys. Like I'm more inclined to take the rookies over this round
Oh.
6-7 spot.
If you're in a dynasty, yeah, I'm there with you. Regular fantasy,
I'm just saying regular fantasy because I think these guys are more
I don't know,
explosive.
boys.
And you're gonna definitely just you're taking a shot. I mean, it's round 6 or 7, so yeah, obviously you don't want to miss. But like if you do strike gold with one of these guys, taking them a couple rounds earlier than Tony Pollard, and he ends up like let's say RJ Harvey ends up here in round 4 next year.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be so much more valuable than holding on to Tony Pollard right here in the 6th round. That's going to maybe get you a little over 1,000 yards and finish as like the RB 18, 25 range.
Yeah. I mean, again, late in the draft, right? If this is opportunity for if you think you're good on depth, this is opportunity to throw a dart, right?
Yeah.
Just say okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's pull a trigger here.
I'd say next on the list, let's throw on. I guess for sure Travis Etienne.
Yeah, and I think this is Jalen Warren too. I think Jalen Warren.
You think he's going to start over Caleb Johnson?
Absolutely.
Jalen Warren.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're coming out of camp. He's running with the first team right now.
I think Jalen will get the first dibs. But again, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mike
we're going
Tomlin's down the
Travis,
post.
Travis and Jalen.
Jalen,
Yep.
And then I think you could throw Najee there.
I agree.
Najee over
Yeah.
Tyron Tracy.
Yeah. And then throw Tyrone Tracy in there.
Okay, wow. So
That's looking
you're not
really
touching.
nice.
We're not touching the Giants' backfield.
Yeah, that is the Giants' backfield. That's
round 8 and
around 8,
pass.
9. Absolutely. They have so much they have to work on at the O-line and quarterback. They don't know who they're going to start. There's a lot of what ifs over there I want to avoid.
100%.
Okay, so we're not touching them till round 8, and we're not touching
Like
New England's
9.
backfield till round 8+ either. So who
The
are we
Patriots?
going for?
See, that's
Or
what's
the Patriots?
tough.
Yeah.
You going Ramondre or are you going?
I'd
See,
probably go
that's-
Ramondre still. Just
Yeah.
because we've seen the workload and we've seen him in the league. We'll see what that offense looks like, but
Yeah, I'd say
if the pass is
Ramondre.
anything, those guys are going to
Over
rotate.
Trayvon.
Yeah.
Okay, Ramondre.
Yep.
Yeah.
With that.
And then I would go Javante here. He's the lead. Rico Daddle's gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's no depth over there. It's going to be Javante. They're going to
Okay.
feed him a little bit.
So now we're down to like the backups.
Yeah, I like Caleb Johnson here first.
And I go right behind him. I probably go Tank.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Travion.
Okay.
And then,
Zach.
Zach, Cam, and Jordan.
Yep. I'm good with that. And again,
Jordan
right,
Mason
this
has
is
proved himself already.
But
for
you
sure
got
last
you
year.
got to think what we're looking at, like how long this list is. Like those are rounds 10, 11, 12
I mean,
guys.
that's 40 backs right there. So
Yeah.
Those guys are deep.
And I think this is a good opportunity to let the viewers know, like, this is your opportunity. Like, let's say you got, Kenneth Walker. This is your
Yeah.
opportunity to handcuff him.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Guys-
what I did.
Guys
Yep.
sleep on handcuffing backs, man. And
Exactly.
especially at that running back position, if there is a possibility of 1-2 combination, get both those guys. We've
Yeah.
seen it where teams, like, for example, last year with the Detroit Lions, you can play both Jameer Gibbs and
David. They're both getting
Montgomery.
touchdowns, both getting catches. I mean,
Right.
they're both eating all year long.
So you might land into a position where, you've taken Kenneth Walker, within those first 5 rounds, but then you get late Zach Charbonnet, and who knows, maybe you get both those guys playing, or at least spell them from week to week because of the uncertainty from week to week with Kenneth Walker.
And at the end of the day, it's not just about who you draft, it's about where you draft them, folks. Use these tiers as cheat codes. Trust the process. Don't follow for all that noise. If this helped you, please hit that like button, follow, subscribe, and drop your sleeper running back in the comments. Did we miss anybody? Is there somebody out there that we could have probably commented on? You let us know.
Let's go and dominate that 2025 draft.